Welcome to Sailing Solo at 70. I'm David Fansler, and I'll only be 70 for 3 more days. The purchase of the boat has finally started happening, and it's working very smoothly. By the end of this week, it should be ours. This video is not about showing you the inside of the boat or the outside of the boat, because I've been doing work on the boat while I've been here. And needless to say, the boat is not exactly in a condition my wife would let me show it to you as. So this particular episode is dedicated to showing you how to take the name or the decal of a boat off of the boat and get rid of the shadow that's usually left behind. Now, this process not only works for that, but it works for a boat that has oxidized really bad. And what I mean by that is that the gel coat, the outside of the boat, is turned dull in color or dull in surface, and it's not shiny anymore. And this process that I'm going to show you on how to get rid of the shadow behind a decal works for that as well. I've done it, and all it takes is some elbow grease. So let's get down to it and see how to get rid of the dark shadow behind a decal. All right, in doing this, what you do is first take a razor blade and peel off the name. It's a vinyl with an adhesive back, and so it's not very hard to get off. Once you get it started, oftentimes you can peel it off. Some people recommend using a heat gun to soften it up. I'm kind of reluctant to do that because the heat gun can actually scorch the gel coat, and you don't want that. Once you've got the name or the decal off, the adhesive is left behind, and one thing you should always do is bring everything with you the first time. I forgot the acetone. Acetone is a solvent. It's used in fingernail polish remover, and you need to use it on here to get rid of the adhesive that's left behind. Now, you can't really see the Princess Kalena on here, but once you take the adhesive off, you'll be able to see the name Princess Kalena. I rub it with my hand to make sure that I've gotten all of the adhesive off. If you can feel it, then you hadn't gotten it all off yet. All right, so once you get all of the adhesive off, and again, you need to bring everything with you. I forgot the sandpaper. So, as I said, you can see the name Princess Kalena in this picture right now. And the next part is using the sandpaper, and that's mentally the hardest thing to do on this. I start with a 320 wet grade wet dry sandpaper, and this is the part where you get rid of the brown that's left behind under the decal. The other grits of sandpaper are just to smooth it out, so you want to make sure that you're using a wet dry sandpaper, using it wet, and you get rid of all of the name that you want to get rid of. Don't worry about cutting through the gel coat. It's fairly thick and you're not going to take very much off. Once you've done the 320 and everything's gone, then you use a 400, an 800, and then 1000. I am using a cutting compound now to help make the surface smoother. I start off with running the grinder at 1,000 RPMs, and then go up to about 1,200 for the second go round. Now I'm using a buffing compound. Once you've gotten done with the buffing compound, the surface should be absolutely mirror finish. It should be just as shiny as you expect it to be. I'm putting wax on now, and once the wax dries, then I buff it off at a fairly high speed, 1,800 RPMs or so. And you can see reflections in that area. Now I'm doing the second half again using the 320 wet dry sandpaper, a 400 grit sandpaper wet dry. You're using all of these wet, 800 and then 1,000 again if you really want to get industrious. you can go to 2,000. Once that's done, then again you use the cutting compound to smooth it out. And what the cutting compound does is it actually melts the gel coat a little bit and fuses it together in a smoother surface than what it started with. Um, I forgot where I was when I started doing that, but here you can see it. And again, I'm running it at about 1,000 RPMs, going over it the first time, and then speed it up to maybe 12 to 1,300 RPMs to go over it again to get rid of everything that's there. You shouldn't be able to see anything left of the cutting compound, and the surface should be fairly smooth. In the first area, I found some places that I had not done very well, so I redid them. Here we're using a buffing compound, and the buffing compound is what really gives it the final polish. Wax does not make the boat shiny. That's not the purpose of the wax. The buffing compound makes the boat shiny. The wax is there to protect the gel coat. So that's why you should always wax your boat once or twice a year to protect the gel coat. If you don't, gel coat oxidizes and it looks bad. So again, we use a liquid wax, put it on, wait for it to dry, and then buff it off at a high speed. Okay, so here's the new logo, Dragonfire from Baltimore, Maryland, where my partner is from. And it's a good looking dragon, as you can see from this close up. A lot of detail. I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. So that's it for now. And again, I'll be posting another video here shortly showing you the boat itself. This is David Fansler saying so long for now.